Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan says he started realizing that state capture was in full swing almost a decade ago. He appeared before the Zondo Commission in Johannesburg today. He began his testimony by raising concerns over how his evidence for the commission had been leaked to the media. He later told the inquiry that during one of his meetings with former President Jacob Zuma, he told his former boss about procedures and the appointment of senior personnel at the South African Revenue Service.
End of your first term as Minister.
A long-awaited testimony, Public Enterprises Minister giving evidence of what happened before he was fired as Finance Minister.
I want to suggest
Gordhan was Finance Minister from 2009 until 2014. He told the Commission that he learned from the media that he was fired. Gordhan also told the Commission that he was not undermining the President when he advised him to follow due processes when appointing senior personnel at SOEs.
The connecting of the dots began late 2016, after the kind of harassment that we were subjected to during 2016. The logical question must be why? If a principal doesn't want somebody he or she has appointed to a particular position, you dismiss the person or find grounds to dismiss the person. In this instance, you don't need grounds, as you know. You just don't have to like the person or like what they're doing, and that's the end of your career or your holding of that particular position.
As Finance Minister, Gordhan was in charge of Treasury, and his testimony was one of the most anticipated. He detailed a number of events that took place in the parastatal and government while he was in the finance portfolio. Speaking on the much talked about nuclear deal, Gordhan corroborated in a statement that there was interest in the proceedings with the nuclear deal, which surpassed the country's budget. Gordhan asked the inquiry to investigate changes made to the committee that oversaw the controversial nuclear deal.
After I indicated to the former President that it would be appropriate to follow lawful procurement processes for such an expensive project to avoid becoming mired in scandals or a scandal like the so-called arms deal. I wanted to impress upon the former President that undertaking the nuclear procurement required careful consideration of its costs, the choice of supplier, due process, and the likely challenges to any decision to proceed. It would be quite easy for example, a bidder from the United States or another country to contest whomsoever you contract to deal with in the final instance.
Minister Gordhan will continue his testimony on Tuesday. Nhlanhla Khatlane, SABC News, Johannesburg.